Well, hello there, Maverick Traders. It is US Payrolls Report, August 1st, first Friday of the month. We're also going to get Canadian payrolls as well. Let's take a look at what our expectations are.
Disclaimer. This video was created for professional Forex and crypto traders. Maverick Currencies is a proprietary trading firm that employs professional traders around the world. Our traders trade firm capital and keep 70 to 80% of profits they generate. All trades and analysis in this video are for professional traders only. If you are interested in becoming a professional Forex and currency trader for Maverick, click the Apply button in the video description. Let's break down what happened today.
All right, if we take a look down here, it is for 205,000. Okay, now I've always said the number is not important. It's the reaction to the number. So right now, everyone, let's stop and think about where we are in this economic cycle. We've had some numbers this week that are not as good as the market was expecting. A little bit, weaker ISM services. We have a Fed that just raised rates. And so here we are. Is this number even going to matter? And that's the first thing we kind of have to think about, is that not every single first Friday of the month where we get payrolls does it matter. Oh, by the way, can everyone give me a raise a hand that my audio is working? All right. Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Okay. So the question is this report going to move markets? And right now, look, these are the numbers that are priced into the market. 205,000, 3.6% unemployment rate. Okay, I think the numbers are going to have to be wildly different than this. I think it's got to be like over 300 or below like 150, below 125. Other than that, I'm not going into this meeting really thinking it's going to be a big move. So let's go through, if we do end up making a trade, let's go through trading news. We always go through this before. You can enter before, you can enter on the news, or you can enter after the news. Before, enter the news, second stage entry. The risks to trading news are always about slippage. This is slippage here. Let's say you get short and you put in a stop. Markets move so fast that it can rip right through your stop and you won't be filled until somewhere up here. So if you enter before the news or on the news, you are risking there being some slippage on your stop orders. We also can get what's called a whipsaw, where we go long. You can see a long trade here got stopped out here. And then if another trader went short, they get stopped out here. By the end of the candle, it hasn't gone anywhere, but both sides got stopped out. So these are the risks of trading on the news and before the news. So the way we can cut that down is you can cut it down to enter after the news. However, again, this is the safest way to do it, but it's also the least lucrative way to do it. The most risky way to trade news is entering before the announcement and holding through the announcement. But it's also, again, the riskiest, but the most lucrative. Again, I'm not super excited about this report whatsoever. So I'm going to be definitely entering after the event. I'm not looking to get into anything, but I'm looking to enter after. So let's go ahead and just jump in. I want to go through our currency baskets and quickly score them all. I'm on a 4-hour chart, and I just want to try to find what's moving. What has some momentum out here? And here we have yen. Yen hasn't gone anywhere for the last, these are 4-hour candles. So we're looking at the last 24 hours, this hasn't gone anywhere. And really, other than this one candle, it hasn't gone anywhere for the last 2 days. So for me, yen is not looking super great. Look at dollar. Dollar is looking pretty strong here, actually. So we've got dollar really looking like a good, it's nice and strong here. So I will be going into this report more on the long dollar side than the short dollar side. That's just what the chart is telling me. Again, I will be doing a second stage entry, if any entry at all. Let's jump over to Swiss franc. Okay, Swiss franc, you can see, has been in this channel here, high basing. for the last little bit. So for me, Swiss franc, it doesn't look great. I'm not interested in trading something in a channel. Here is euro. And euro to me also looks more strong than weak. We just broke out of this range. We've had this really, really calm pullback. Is this the turn? It's a little early. I think a breakout above a parabolic SAR would tell us that was the turn. So look, euro is looking interesting, but remember, I'm looking at long dollar trades. And so I need to find something that is good looking on the short side, not another long trade. Here we have pound. Pound is going nowhere. Does everyone see why I'm not super excited about this? There's just not a lot to trade out there. Canadian dollar. All right, Canadian dollar does have a little bit of momentum on the downside. We've got EMAs coming down. We got RSI coming down. I got parabolic SAR. Okay, so CAD is a potential candidate. It's showing some relative weakness compared to everything else. Come over here to Aussie. All right, Aussie has been in a nice downtrend, a nice bear rally. Yeah, this one I'm interested in as well. So again, rally off the bottom. You can see we haven't quite turned down yet. Moving averages are flat. Everything is flat here on Aussie. So we're going to need to get a little bit more price action on Aussie. Then we go to Kiwi. Kiwi looks much weaker to me than the Aussie. And frankly, the Kiwi looks pretty good here, in my opinion. So I just ran through my relative strength and weakness. And the question is, okay, what do I want to trade against dollar? And the answer is either CAD or Kiwi. So how do we answer the question of which one we should trade? We pair up CAD versus Kiwi. Which one is actually better at the moment? And you can see for the last 12 hours, they've been virtually the same. But since we are on a downtrend here on Kiwi CAD, I'm going to go with Kiwi. So the pairing I'm looking at is Kiwi dollar. All right, this is the trade setup I'm going to be looking for. Now, this is where we have to get into building a trade, building entry points. I don't love this because the entry point that I would want to pick is right here. It's right here at 66.60. Okay, that's actually not too close. I was worried that it was too close. This is a lower price currency cross. Currently, we're at 60.81. So this is still 20 pips apart. That is far enough away to where like I can sit through some volatility. I can watch it. So okay, I'm gonna go ahead and throw an order out there at 60.60 on this, and I'm gonna have a stop here at 60.95. 60.95 on this. And I only want to get filled if there's truly going to be a move. So again, I always use stop limit orders. I always use stop limit orders. Right. 60.60. And then we're going to put in a limit at 60.55. Again, that is just creating this window. Let's go ahead and attach stop to it. Our stop is going to be 60.95. All right. So we got that order in there. And again, we're just going to be letting it get triggered. Go to Kiwi dollar. All right. So we do have an order sitting out there to get in if it breaks the low of this base. I'm only giving it a 5 pip window to actually get triggered. All right. We've got about 3 minutes left. I also think the other intriguing cross was dollar CAD. And again, this one, like I said earlier, is that this one looks ready right here, right now. I mean, we are kind of breaking out of this resistance area here. We've got this nice little base that we're breaking out of. So it's really difficult on news reports to set up orders to get triggered on technical breaks when the technical break is happening right here, right now. Hopefully that makes sense. That I really like to have it far enough away to where I don't get triggered by whipsaw price action, where I don't, have to mess with any of that. It's really tough on these where they're actually breaking out right when the announcement comes out. Where do you put your order? Where do you put your order to where you don't get triggered by that whipsaw price action? All right, well, that's, again, I like $CAD. I just don't know where the entry point would be. Anything else people want to look at, let me know. But we're going to be looking at Kiwi dollar here. Going to an hourly candle here. Hourly chart. All right, we've got news coming out any minute now. Now, remember, the news isn't important. And I love to tell the story of when I was not able to watch the news when a payroll report came out. I always used to watch the news, have the news on. I would get the report, I'd hear the numbers, and then I would decide what those numbers meant. And one time I didn't have the news. I just had to trade the chart. And I ended up having a good trade. And by the end of the day, I realized that I never knew what the numbers were. I never knew. And it didn't matter because it didn't matter. I was just trading the chart. So I always, for years, I always turned off the news so I didn't have to watch it, to where I could just focus on trading the chart. All right. Numbers are out, and it looks like dollar is weakening. Dollar is weakening off of the initial reaction. So let's get news just so we can talk about it. Okay, payrolls were 187,000, a little bit weaker than expected. Unemployment rate dropped to 3.5%, which is stronger than expected, and average hourly earnings was stronger than expected. So this is kind of a weird number. We've got the number of jobs created was weaker than expected, which is, again, going to be bearish the dollar. But we had the unemployment rate and wages go up more than expected, which should be bullish dollar. This is a mixed report to me. It is definitely a mixed bag. Let's pop in on the CAD. Let's see what happened with the Canadian unemployment report. It was weaker than expected. It was much weaker than expected. So let's take a look at some CAD trades. This is pound CAD. It looked just like the others where it was out of place, where it was tough to have an entry point that wasn't right on top of it. But the CAD is weakening. The CAD is weakening, so CAD trades are looking okay as well. I'm going to pop in on dollar CAD. As you can see, they're both weakening. Both dollar and CAD are weakening. They haven't gone anywhere. We've had a little bit of a whipsaw. See, and this is just what I was talking about not a good entry place. Here is the resistance. Here is where theoretically you should have had your order right above it. Look at this candle. This candle is an ugly, messy candle to trade on a news announcement. And you may have been stopped out on this. You may have been triggered and then stopped out when it hasn't done anything and hasn't gone anywhere. So again, these are tricky. When you find a really good trading setup that's looking great right now, and then there's news, it's very tough to trade these when you're looking to be on a disciplined entry point. All right, well, as I said earlier, I wasn't super excited about this report. It wasn't lining up to be a really big move. You can see that we have a minor move. We've got a 0.3% move in Kiwi dollar, and we've got smaller moves around the board than that. So as I expected or suspected, this report did not bring with it any big fireworks. This report, at least the report I'm looking at, a mixed bag, part of it bullish, part of it bearish for dollar. I'm going to follow my rules. My rules say that I leave the order out there for 30 minutes. There's been a lot of times where I've said these exact words, And again, in my early years, I would cancel my orders, and then a delayed reaction would come, and exactly what I thought would happen happened, and I had already taken my order down. And then there's times when I've been more disciplined and I leave it out there, and it does get filled, and I end up having a good trade. So I'm going to do the same thing here. Follow my rules. I'm going to leave this order out there until, what's that going to be, 9 a.m. Eastern time. If it has not been filled by 9 a.m., I'm going to cancel it, and that's going to be it for the week for me. I'm not looking to make any other Forex trades for the rest of the week. All right, well, that is the payrolls report. Sometimes we have an exciting payrolls report, sometimes we don't. And we'll see what happens, but I doubt this one's going to be all that exciting. So I'm going to take off. Everyone, thank you so much for joining me, and we will see you next payrolls report. Goodbye, everyone.